What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is the Jose Show. Happy Tuesday. All right, now let's get into the hot topics. Now let's talk about Vanderpump Rules. So, as we all know, Vanderpump Rules has been one of the highest rated reality shows lately. Well, apparently, Bravo just announced they're rebooting the entire cast for season 12 of the reality show. So, the network tells TMZ Lisa Vanderpump will be back for the new season, but will be surrounded by a new group of staffers who work at her West Hollywood hotspot SUR. So, Season 12 returns to the show's original formula, which takes viewers back inside LVP's many restaurants where several hookups, feuds, and drama are known to unfold. So, sources connected with the show tell TMZ stars Tom Sandoval, Tom Schwartz, Ariana Madix, Shayna Shea, James Kennedy, Katie Maloney, and Layla Kent were notified of this decision by production last night. So TMZ was told most of the cast wasn't too surprised by the new direction, especially after the show was put on pause back in April. So, despite the shakeup, our sources say the OG stars will have a home at the network, as there will be other avenues for them to explore with the Bravo/NBC universe. And TMZ was told that Layla, Shayna, as well as hubby Brock Davies and Schwartz are all making appearances on season 2 of The Valley, a spinoff already starring other Vanderpump Rules alums. Okay. So Layla responded to the news by releasing a statement on Instagram where she noted she was unbelievably grateful for every moment. Okay, so this is really interesting that the whole entire cast is getting rebooted here, but I can imagine that the reason to why the whole entire cast got rebooted is because, I don't know, but I feel like Bravo couldn't afford to continue paying their reality star actors. Because usually when it comes to casts getting rebooted, especially when it comes to successful reality shows like these, usually they get kicked out of these reality shows because of the fact that the production company just can't afford to be having those same reality stars, especially for a very long time in those reality shows. And I really do feel bad for all of the actors that were in this reality show, because I believe that these actors were getting paid really well into being in a very successful show like Vanderpump Rules, for example, and they were having a really good time. And, I also feel like, Bravo also wanted to have fresh new faces in the reality show after all, because, let's remember that Raquel Leviss, Tom Sandoval, Ariana Madix, and then Layla Kent, and then Katie Maloney and the rest of the cast have been in that reality show for a very long time. And, people do get sick and tired of seeing the same faces over and over again, and they want to see something new for a change, and they want to see new topics come in for a change as well. And also they want to see, better behavior. They want to see better topics about life, I guess, when it comes to this reality show. So I think that's the reason to why this whole entire cast got rebooted in the first place. Now, I don't feel bad about Tom Sandoval being out of this show, because Tom Sandoval is nothing but a freaking pig, especially after what he did to Ariana Madix. But I do feel bad for Ariana Madix, and I do feel bad for the rest of the cast, because, man, they definitely did have worked their ass off in the show. And let's be honest. And let's also be honest that now that the whole entire cast is getting rebooted, and now that there's going to be a new cast for the next season of this show, I believe it's going to be hard for the audience to get adapted to the new cast, because basically it takes time having to know those faces, to recognize their personalities, to recognize what they want in this show and this and that. And also it takes time for a cast to have a chemistry as well, because basically with the new cast, it's actually kind of hard having to have that chemistry, especially if the cast barely knows each other or doesn't know each other at all. So there's that as well. So it's definitely complicated after all. But we're just going to have to see how this new season is going to be of Vanderpump Rules, because, hey, it is what it is after all. And yeah, but anywho, on to the next topic. Now let's talk about Trey Songz. So Trey Songz has been ordered to write a pretty hefty check in connection with the battery case filed last year. So apparently in new court documents obtained by TMZ, the singer has been ordered to pay Tyrell Dunn, a Maryland Capitol Police officer who says he was injured after he tried to rescue his wife from Songz' hotel room in 2021, more than $11 million in damages. So anyway, TMZ broke the story at the time. Songz was accused of misconduct while in Sin City for his 37th birthday back in November of 2021. The Bottoms Up artist allegedly brought a group of women back to his hotel room at the Cosmopolitan, which is where Dunn alleged in his lawsuit that his wife screamed for help and said she was being held against her will. Dunn said he tried to intervene to help his wife but was attacked by Songz and his security, an incident he says it caused him serious injuries including fractured eye sockets and scarring that caused him to miss work. Alright, so while Songz was cleared of any criminal wrongdoing in April of 2022, Dunn later sued the chart topper. The docs say Songz never responded, which eventually led to the default judgment being entered against him. Okay, so a Las Vegas judge has ruled Dunn will get a payday for his ordeal, awarding millions to the man to cover past medical expenses, past pain and suffering, and punitive damages. Alright, so this is insane. I believe that, in my personal opinion, this guy really went over the line here if he really caused 11 million in damages, especially over at a hotel. And also I believe he went over the line if he actually beat someone up, because come on now, man, if you can't behave, then honestly, why go to Vegas? Why go off and try to have a crazy fun over in Vegas? I mean, just chill at home, don't do anything, and don't get into any freaking trouble, and period. But I do believe, though, that Songz might have some type of aggressive way of drinking, which could be the reason to why this whole entire fight and this whole entire violence happened in the first place, because usually when shit happens in Vegas, shit happens in Vegas, especially when it comes to the drinking. When people be drinking here and there and they be getting a bunch of shots of tequila in their mouths, and then later on they go off all crazy, they go off attacking people, they go off yelling and screaming, and then there goes the blood, there goes the bruises, and then there comes the cops intervening in the whole entire situation, and it's just so freaking insane. And I just don't even want to imagine any of those things that Trey Songz was, doing, because literally if I were to ever even witness a fight like that, trust me, I would be so horrified. I would be like, oh hell no, I'm gonna have to run away from this freaking fight. I'm gonna have to run away from this freaking hotel ASAP, man. This is just not correct. This is just so darn wrong in all levels. And what's even more scary, by the way, is that, I believe that this guy, in my opinion, really is that kind of guy that just can't control himself, even if he weren't to be drunk. I mean, I'm already able to tell by his own personality, and it's no offense to him, because I mean, I am able to tell that, this guy is just so all out there. He's just so off. He's just, that kind of guy that just wants to call attention, and that just wants to, start shit with people, and that just wants to, cause a lot of wrongdoings to many other people out there. I mean, even if those people are not trying to provoke him at all. I mean, that's just what it really seems like it to me, and it's just so darn weird, and it's so darn evil in all levels. I could be mistaken, I don't know, but that's just what I'm personally thinking according to what I am reading here, according to what they're saying about Trey Songz. So anyways, it's crazy though that it's now been 3 years since the whole entire incident, and now there is a thing going on with the courthouse where they are suing him for the whole entire situation 3 years later. I mean, they could have done it a few months later at least, but I don't know what happened. But anyways, on to the next topic. Now let's talk about Danielle Bregoli, aka the Cash Me Outside Girl. So Danielle Bregoli, aka the Cash Me Outside Girl, is spending time with her loved ones amid her difficult cancer diagnosis, dipping out with her boyfriend in the first photo since the news broke. So the social media sensation, also known as Bad Baby, stepped out in Calabasas Friday with the tight black shirt, matching leggings, and Puma slides on. So her head is covered with the beanie in those pics, matching her man Levon's style as the two headed toward their car. The two laughed and joked together, appearing to be in good spirits despite the devastating news the rapper recently received. So Danielle's appearance here seems to be her first out in public since news of her cancer diagnosis broke after she posted online and seemed to say she was dealing with the disease. Okay. So then TMZ later confirmed with the family source that she does have cancer and that she's in a doctor's care. So this is very sad that Bad Baby is having cancer. Now, I really wonder where she has the cancer. But if it's breast cancer, then oh my goodness, it's going to be super difficult for the poor woman because breast cancer is one of the deadliest cancers out there. So many women out there have died due to breast cancer. But anyways, she is very young, and I believe that since she is very young, she is too young to be going through all of this. And I don't even know how the hell she ended up getting the cancer in the first place, to be honest, because of the fact that she is young. I think that maybe she got cancer probably because she hasn't been eating well, or maybe because she hasn't been living a healthy lifestyle with her food that she's been eating, or I don't know, man. I don't know. But one thing's for sure, though, is that Bad Baby, I'm pretty sure, has all of the money of the world to be taking care of herself right now that she has cancer. And she especially has her hopes and she has a positivity in her, I'm pretty sure, to keep on going and to not give up on the freaking cancer. So I believe with all of that, I'm sure that she's going to be able to go through all of this. I'm sure that she's going to be able to have a way to prevent death here. And also, I never could have imagined that somebody as controversial as Bad Baby would end up having cancer because, I mean, you know, as we all know, Bad Baby has been under the controversies these past several years because of the fact that she called out Dr. Phil and she was, you know, calling him Cash Me Outside and this and that. And I was like, damn, this girl really has shade. This girl really has the bravery to be talking to Dr. Phil that way. And then that was when Bad Baby ended up getting her fame, and then that was when a lot of people started to know her as the Cash Me Outside girl. And then later on, she, you know, has released a few songs here and there, which, by the way, have been huge hits, let's remember. And, you know, she's been dissing, you know, a few rappers here and there in her songs, and she's been dissing a few people here and there, which to me is, you know, pretty typical for a female rapper and for a rapper in general, because, I mean, come on now, who doesn't get to be dissing in their songs when it comes to being a rapper anyways? But anywho, I do think that she just has gone out of the public for a few years, and I was even wondering why she's been out of the public, by the way. But I think that this situation of her having cancer could be maybe one of the reasons to why she's been out of the public for the past few years now. And I mean, it's completely understandable because when you be having cancer, it's no freaking joke. I mean, you feel like you have a pair of fire in your freaking body that is killing you slowly, and it's just, you know, horrible. And I really do send my prayers to Bad Baby. I really send my prayers to Bad Baby's family because, man, this is just harsh. This is just harsh. You got this, girl. You got this. Now on to the next topic. Now let's talk about Machine Gun Kelly. So Machine Gun Kelly is taking time for himself before welcoming his and Megan Fox's new addition, speaking out about his upcoming bundle of joy for the first time. The rapper posted an update for fans on X Monday confirming his baby news will not keep him from making new music. As he puts it, he plans to isolate himself in the desert next week in order to restart his current album from scratch. So he continued, when inspiration flows through me unblocked, we will reach the destination in no time, don't worry. So anyways, however, MGK made it clear he was excited about his and Megan's family news, happily adding, I'm about to be a dad again. This will be the musician's second child, previously welcoming daughter KC in 2009 with ex-girlfriend Emma Cannon. Okay, so this is pretty amazing that Machine Gun Kelly is still going on with his music career even though he's expecting a child with the one and only Megan Fox, because we all do want to listen to new music from the one and only Machine Gun Kelly, because Machine Gun Kelly releases really good music and he's a really good singer and really good rapper after all. So let's also remember that. And also, I do believe that Machine Gun Kelly, has somebody to, take care of his child after all. There's Megan Fox, or if it's not Megan Fox, they could both hire a maid, or they can both hire a nanny to, take care of their child after all, because, at the end of the day, they do have the money of the world to be doing that after all. So there's also that. And let's also remember that, I do believe that it is highly important for Machine Gun Kelly to, take some time off from music in order to pay more attention to his child and be there for his child, because, at the end of the day, it is really important being a parent after all. But, at the same time, I do really think that it's amazing yet again that, he's like, what? I love my fans. I want to give my fans what they want. I want to give my fans, all of the surprises of the world with my music. I really want to, excite them after all, So, he has his consideration at the same time as an artist. Let's be honest. He has his own way of, letting his fans know that they are not going to be bored for the next several years. They are not going to be unsatisfied. So that's a good thing to hear, Especially because, we've heard, from so many other artists out there that they become parents and then at the end of the day, they disappear from the spotlight. Katy Perry, by the way, is one of those artists, by the way, that she became a mother back in 2020. And yet again, she still was in the studio making music. And now she's going to go out and tour next year. So that's really amazing right there. So, hey, Katy Perry can do it too. And becoming a mom and a singer at the same time. Machine Gun Kelly is gonna be a dad again with Megan Fox, and he is still making music out there. And then of course, I'm sure that, once the new music is out, I'm sure that this music, by the way, is gonna reflect a lot on his parenthood with Megan Fox, by the way, because, at the end of the day, I'm sure that this whole entire parenthood thing with Megan Fox has been getting to him after all, and it has definitely been reflecting on him, period. And let's also remember that this new music could also be about the fact that he's gone through his struggles with his own, love life with Megan Fox as well, because let's remember that his love life with Megan Fox has been so difficult these past few years because of the fact that they've been having a bunch of huge disagreements to the point that they would end up seeing a therapist together. So I'm sure that this music is going to also be about that as well. So anyways, Machine Gun Kelly, you are brave, you are strong for still releasing music and for still going out there making music, even though you're about to be a dad really soon. So congratulations, man. Congratulations. Now on to the next topic. Now let's talk about Wendy Williams. So things are not looking good for the poor woman. Well, Wendy Williams' battle with dementia has left the former talk show host permanently incapacitated, at least according to her guardian. Well, in a new legal filing obtained by TMZ, Wendy's guardian claims she has been afflicted by early onset dementia and as a result has become cognitively impaired and permanently incapacitated. Well, as TMZ reported, Wendy was diagnosed with aphasia and dementia back in May of 2023, about 1 year after she was placed under a legal guardianship overseeing her health and finances. And the court filing is part of a legal skirmish between Wendy's guardian Sabrina Morrissey and the Where Is Wendy Williams documentary. So TMZ broke the story. Morrissey sued back in February to stop the doc from coming out. The doc was ultimately released on Lifetime, and it highlighted Wendy's struggles with alcohol, including a scene where she downed an entire bottle of vodka. Alright, so in this filing, Morrissey is asking the court to redact certain portions of the case to protect Wendy's privacy, namely information about her health, familiar relationships, and finances. Okay, so I feel so bad for poor Wendy Williams that she is going through all of this because at this point, I can already imagine that this woman is going to end up in a psychiatric hold because dementia is no freaking joke. Dementia will drive you crazy. And because of this, I highly doubt that Wendy Williams is going to return to the entertainment industry. I highly doubt it because since she unfortunately has dementia, she is not going to be able to remember anybody from the production team of a talk show. She's not going to be able to remember what she has to say in her own talk show. She's not going to be able to remember anything else, and it's going to leave her as a freaking clown, basically. So she is going to have to take some really good time off, and by really good, I mean permanent time off. And also, I also have to say that the fact that now this Morrissey person is basically suing because of the fact that now her whole entire life is being basically out and about, and by her, I mean Wendy Williams' life is being out and about. It's actually highly understandable because I believe that Wendy Williams' life should be kept private. It should be kept to herself because at this point, since Wendy Williams' life is, getting out and about on how she's doing and what she's been doing here and there is actually a huge invasion of privacy for the poor woman. And it's also making Wendy Williams look so bad because, a lot of people are basically laughing at Wendy Williams because of the stuff that she's been doing. And it's so cruel that a bunch of people have been laughing at her because at the end of the day, Wendy Williams is a human being just like the rest of us that has struggles in life and that has weaknesses in life. And that's something that so many people don't freaking understand. And let's also understand here too that Wendy has gone through so much in life, which is the reason to why she's gone through so much dementia lately. I mean, she has gone through an infidelity. She has gone through a financial situation with Wells Fargo because unfortunately Wells Fargo got to freeze her account like 3 years ago because of the fact that apparently Wells Fargo declared her as disabled. And also let's remember that Wendy Williams unfortunately got to relapse in her alcohol and drug addiction, which is what led her to get into more nutsy. So let's be considerate, ladies and gentlemen, that Wendy Williams is not okay and that she deserves her own privacy and she deserves to be okay after all. I really do send my prayers to Wendy Williams, and I send my prayers especially to her son Kevin Hunter Jr. because Kevin Hunter Jr. I can already imagine is not doing so good right now, knowing that his own mother is struggling right now. So with all of that being said, rest. Please rest, Wendy. Please rest. And please make sure that you are out of the cruelty of what these people are saying about you. And please make sure that your life is as private as you are trying to make it be. Okay? Now on to the next topic. Now let's talk about Tyreek Hill. So the traffic citations Tyreek Hill was hit with following the now infamous September run-in with cops have been dismissed, TMZ Sports has confirmed. So, according to court records, the seatbelt violation and the careless driving infraction police officers issued to Hill back on September 8 were both thrown out on Monday. So, Florida journalist Andy Slater reported Tuesday the case's dispositions were related to Miami-Dade police officers failing to appear for a court hearing. So, the records show Hill had previously pleaded not guilty to the tickets. The matter, of course, all stemmed from when cops pulled over Hill right outside of Hard Rock Stadium just before his Dolphins took on the Jacksonville Jaguars in their season opening game. So, cops claimed Hill had been driving in an unsafe manner, and when they found him to be uncooperative during the ensuing stop, they yanked him from his sports car, threw him on the ground, and slapped handcuffs on him. So, ultimately, after Hill's agent and teammates showed up to the scene, the 30-year-old receiver was let off with just 2 citations and allowed to play in Miami's game. Okay, so Hill and his camp have repeatedly panned the officers for their actions during the encounter, calling for the firing of at least 1 cop. Okay, so this is really insane. I believe that this is very harsh for Tyreek Hill that he got pulled over outside of the Hard Rock Stadium just before his game, because I just can't imagine you just having the anxiety of your own game because you are basically competing against a very tough team, basically. And then yet again, you get pulled over by these cops that are trying to basically give you these citations and that are trying to call your attention. And then what's even more anxious about the whole entire case is that, the cops, I'm pretty sure, might have mistreated this guy because, unfortunately, some cops, they tend to mistreat some people, especially when they're pulling them over, and it's, the reality of it all, unfortunately. And I mean, that really does alter, the anxiety for Tyreek Hill after all. So there's also that. And also the fact that, this whole entire situation happened where basically his car got yanked from him is not very human at all. It's actually very disrespectful because, it's Tyreek's car after all, and Tyreek deserves to have his car in his own hands. So I believe that a simple citation and a simple pullover should not escalate to something super major, and it shouldn't definitely escalate to something disrespectful either. So there's also that. And then what gets to me even more, by the way, was that he got slapped in the handcuffs and that he basically got taken to jail after that, when in reality, I don't think that's also fair. I think that's also very inhumane. And I don't know, man, and I'm not trying to sound very political here, but I think that this whole entire case was a racial situation, because I believe that since Tyreek Hill is black, I mean, they were going off taking advantage of the poor guy and doing these things to him instead of just, giving a simple citation towards him, and that's it, just like everybody else. But they decided to, go the hard way with the poor guy just because he's black. That's what I personally think. And I mean, this ain't the first time that a person of color gets to be pulled over and then gets to be mistreated so horribly. This is not the first time. I mean, let's remember with George Floyd. George Floyd got pulled over and then he ended up getting killed. And man, is this officer really paying the prices now for what he did to poor George Floyd. Now, I thank God that things didn't escalate to that point with Tyreek Hill and that Tyreek Hill is still alive. But yet again, I'm not happy that he ended up getting handcuffed and he ended up getting taken into jail shortly after the whole entire simple pullover thing. So anyways, this is just very scary, man. I'm really scared, especially for myself as a person of color, because, I definitely still feel like, unfortunately, in the world that we live in, I mean, there are so many cops out there that are like that will take advantage of somebody and that will get somebody into so much trouble just because of their own damn color and not because of something that is correct. Not because of something that should be done according to the law, So anyways, this is very ridiculous, but I'm so glad that Tyreek Hill is now getting justice here out of the whole entire situation. And yeah, but anywho, that is it for today's show, ladies and gentlemen. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's lovely episode of The Jose Show. Till next time, and peace.